All right, let's talk about The Flash. So, I will give you my non spoiler review and then I will go into spoilers later in the video, as usual for my reviews here. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, The Flash. I like this movie, but I think it was a bit overhyped. Like, a lot of people were hyping it up as one of the best superhero movies that's ever been made or whatever. Tom Cruise even said it's like really good. He was hyping up too. Of course, Michael Keaton coming back as Batman in this. Everyone was hyped up about that. And I just don't think it lived up to it. But I still liked it. I still thought it was a really good movie. And part of the reason for that is Ezra Miller. They were good in the movie. And yes, everyone's saying like the Ezra Miller, of course, with the troubles they've had off the movie, that they shouldn't be here, of course. But the movie was already made, and yeah, I'm not like I don't really like Ezra Miller with like the troubles they've been in away from the movie with all that, and even before that, like I wasn't really a fan of Ezra Miller's portrayal of Barry Allen, the Flash, in the Justice League. I like either version of it, like with the theatrical version or the Snyder cut. I wasn't really a fan of like their portrayal, but I think with this movie, I found Ezra's performance actually really good in two roles, because he's playing like the regular Barry Allen we see, and of course like youngerish Barry Allen from the other timeline. So yeah, so I thought the portrayal from Ezra was pretty good in the movie, and I think partly the reason for that is we get more of Ezra in this, and I think it kind of gives you a reason why he is the way he is. I guess why he's kind of like unsure of himself, because I think he is broken. He is broken from, of course, his mom being murdered and his dad going to jail for it, even though he didn't commit the murder. And I hope that's not a spoiler, because that's part of the Flash's story from the comics, or if you've watched the TV show, of course. And partly the reason also why I wasn't really a fan of Ezra's portrayal was from the TV show, because I like Grant Gustin in the role. So yeah, but yeah, Ezra was really good in two roles, playing like his normal self and his like younger self. And Michael Keaton was good too. Michael Keaton was really good in this movie, and I like that he was like I feel like his Batman, him coming back to play Batman, it kind of showed that he had a screw loose, of course. Like, he was kind of crazy. I mean, I think with Batman, like Batman in general, I think he does have a screw loose, because he's a regular man dressed as a bat. So it's like, okay, he definitely has a screw loose. He's a billionaire dressed as a bat, going out and fighting crime. But I think with Michael Keaton in this one, they made it more evident coming in, like when he comes into the first scene he's in. I feel like they make it more evident, like, because he's up there in age and he's crazy, but he gives a really good performance in this. I like it. I like him in this, returning as Bruce Wayne Batman. Probably talk about more of his performance in spoilers, but I liked it. And of course Ben Affleck, of course. Yeah, Ben Affleck was really good too. Like, I like his portrayal as Batman, especially in Batman v Superman. Like, I really liked like his performance in there, even though I think the movie is pretty mediocre. But I liked his performance in that, and I thought his performance was pretty good in the Justice League like Snyder cut version. So yeah, but with like the 5 minutes we see him in here, I thought he was good. I liked his Batman, and seeing him in action, Batfleck in action. And the other hero we got in here was Supergirl, played by Sasha Calle, and with her, I did like her. I did like her performance in this movie. Like, I think she did a pretty good job. I think with the character though, I wasn't really connected to her that much, because I feel like we didn't get enough of her in this movie. And I almost feel it would have been better if it was Henry Cavill playing the part in the movie where he is Superman. And I'm not one of those people, I'm not one of those Snyder bros that's that wants Henry Cavill instead of Supergirl, or was like clamoring for that or whatever. Or I'm not one of those babies that's crying woke because it's a woman in a big role in a movie. But I just feel like Henry Cavill, I think him as Superman would have been probably better for me to be connected to his character, because we've seen him before, and with the amount of screen time the character has in the movie, with Supergirl. I thought, okay, it could have been better, and it could have been better if you had maybe like a crazier version of Superman that's been locked up. So yeah, I don't know, but overall, I like Sasha Calle in this movie. Hope we see more of her in other movies. She's probably not gonna be a Supergirl, or maybe she will. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see, but I would love to see her in like other movies because I thought her performance was pretty good in this one. And the story is good too. It is emotional. I love that how they brought in Supergirl and Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman into this, and even the younger Barry Allen. And yeah, the story is good. It's emotional. Of course, it's coming from like inspiration of Flashpoint Paradox. Did I get that right? But yeah, it takes inspiration from that, and it really is a good emotional story, and you really feel it at the end. You really feel it. So yeah, I thought it was a good story to this. But I think the one thing that brings it down for me, and it's bringing it down for a lot of people, is the CGI. I just thought, oh man, the CGI was just spotty in a lot of moments in this movie. Like at the start, you can kind of see it where the CGI is kind of weak. There's one scene where I didn't really have too much of a problem with the scene at the scene in the start because it's kind of a cute scene. It's kind of a cute, funny scene. So I was like, okay, I'm digging this, even though CGI that is not too good. But then you have like moments towards the end of the movie where it's like, okay, this doesn't look good, and it's coming from moments where we see the Zod fight. You see in the trailers where they're going against Zod, and where he's coming to Earth, and that's coming from Man of Steel. And part of the reason where it does not work for me is that it was like this thing, like him taking over Earth, was in Man of Steel, and it was done better in that movie. And when we see it here, it's just like, okay, this doesn't look quite good. Like, it's not taking me out of the movie, but it's just like, it's not that good. And there's other moments in here. There's like other like stuff in here that the CGI is just like, okay, yeah, this is just not working that well. I mean, I'm still buying into it because the story is pretty good, but man, CGI is not good. But yeah, the CGI is the major downfall for me. But the story is good enough for me to still like this movie. I thought the story being emotional, also being funny at times. I think with Ezra Miller and their performance as Barry Allen, both Barry Allens in this, there were moments like towards the beginning that, okay, this is pretty hilarious, and I like that. I was enjoying myself or watching the movie. So yeah, it was cool. I mean, yeah, the movie of course is not definitely not one of the best superhero movies as people have been saying. I think that's why the critic rating is a little bit lower than maybe I expected, because I think some of the critics were buying into the hype too, and then I think they were probably a little bit disappointed. So yeah, but I generally like the movie, and yeah, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. Like, it's solid. It's solidly pretty good. It's a pretty good one. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but I don't really think I need to go to the theater and watch it again. But yeah, when it comes to digital, yeah, I'll definitely check it out again. Okay, let's dive into some spoilers now. So if you've not seen the movie, best check away now, unless you want to be spoiled by it. So yeah, let's get into it. So the cameos. I think I'll start with the cameos. So the cameos, both like CGI, and there's like a lot of CGI cameos towards the end, of course, with him being in like this, was it the Speed Force or whatever? When him and the other younger Barry were in the Speed Force. But yeah, we see a lot of those coming in, like Christopher Reeves and George Reeves Superman. I know there's a Supergirl I'm not really familiar with in there. And then you have Adam West's Batman, and all their worlds are like colliding and getting destroyed, of course. And of course we see, of course, like Nicolas Cage is Superman. And of course I think for people who don't know, Superman Lives, in the story about that, like that movie that was never made, it would come off as random, but if you've never heard of Superman Lives, it's a movie that Tim Burton was gonna make. It was a Superman movie that Tim Burton was gonna make, and that was gonna have Nicolas Cage being Superman, and they showed you what he would have looked like in this, I guess. But there's a good documentary that was made by the late great John Schnepp about the movie, so you can go check that out to see what it would have been like. But it was cool that we got that little cameo in there. it was basically just CGI Nicolas Cage pretty much. I don't know if he actually filmed for this movie, but it's cool to see that in there. But like with these cameos, I think the CGI was just like, okay, yeah, it was just spotty. I mean, even with like Nicolas Cage CGI in that, in like on that part was just spotty. I mean, the whole part was just spotty with all with all the cameos in that little like Speed Force thing or whatever. I don't even know if it was a Speed Force, but it was just like, okay, I don't know if it was working for me. And of course, that's when like the Dark Flash came in, which was the younger Barry Allen from that timeline, because he wanted to go back and change all like change what happened to like Batman and Supergirl. And the funny thing is that, or it's not funny, but it's kind of a bold choice that they didn't really show you like a happy ending to Michael Keaton's Batman or Supergirl, because it was like, yeah, they're just dying over and over, and that's pretty much how it was gonna be. Like they're just gonna die over and over. So there was no happy ending to them. It was crazy. Like, and I actually kind of like that. I thought it was like I thought it was kind of a bold choice, and it worked for the Flash's story, because that's how it is with the in the movie where the Flash, where yeah, he can't reverse time, or he could reverse time, but it's not going to solve the problem and keep them alive. It's just going to have them dying over and over, like timeline after timeline. And of course, that goes into him saving his mother in this movie, because yeah, that was the emotional point, and like the most emotional part in the movie, where at the end he has to reverse what he did. Of course, being where he put the tomato can in her shopping cart because she forgot it, and that's how she died. And it's kind of weird how they didn't show who killed her in the movie, but I don't know, maybe they were gonna save that for a sequel. But yeah, that emotional part in the movie where yeah, he has to reverse what he did, and it's like, yeah, because the world goes to shit pretty much when like if his mother actually stays alive. But he did keep his father from going to prison, of course, or from like staying in prison. But yeah, but I thought, yeah, that was definitely a very emotional end of the movie. So I thought, okay, yeah, you got me there. Even after the bad CGI, I thought that was a good part right there. But also, who killed the mother though? Because it's like they left that kind of a mystery, like it was gonna be like that was gonna be play into what like the next movie would have been. But Ezra Miller is probably not gonna be the Flash anymore. But like, who knows? I don't know. Like, they may go with Ezra Miller, and they may go with a sequel, like tying into this, I guess. But yeah, but I'm guessing it was just some random dude, or was it a reverse Flash? I don't know, but I guess that would have took away from the movie if they would have revealed who killed her. And also the other cameos with Wonder Woman coming in at the start of the movie when they're done with that little like chase, or Batman's done with that little chase. So I thought that was cool. It was like, it wasn't really a surprise because it felt very natural in the movie. Like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman. Hey, what's up, Wonder Woman? Glad you're here. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And Gal Gadot, this is probably her last appearance as Wonder Woman, I guess. So yeah, that was cool. Aquaman in the post-credit scene, I don't know. Like, I waited for that, and I was kind of like, okay, I love Jason Momoa, but man, I just don't know. I just don't know. Like, that wasn't really worth the waiting for. But I feel like the cameo that a lot of people are going to be like shaking their heads at, or just completely laughing at the very end of the movie, is George Clooney coming in as Batman, or Bruce Wayne. He wasn't really Batman, I guess, but he comes in as Bruce Wayne, and that was crazy. I was like I was laughing in my seat when I saw that. Because that was unexpected. Like, no one would ever thought they would see George Clooney in this. And I feel like Andy Muschietti tries to throw you off with this, because you see a little glimpse of his hair when he gets out of his car. And you, like, at least I thought it might be Michael Keaton, like, being the Batman in his universe. It will be changing from Affleck to Michael Keaton. So I was like, okay, it's Michael Keaton. But when it turns out to be George Clooney, I was like, what? And even he was like, what? He was like, who the fuck are you? And then, yeah, George Clooney's like, are you okay? You okay, Barry? So that's crazy. And I kind of wonder if there was Michael Keaton at this, originally, because Michael Keaton was originally going to be in Batgirl, and he was going to be her mentor. So I wonder if it would have carried on from that, but they ended up scrapping the movie after they filmed Batgirl. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And also, what I heard is that in the initial screenings, like this, like the pre-screenings to this, people saw it earlier. That they didn't even show George Clooney. It was more like a tease, I guess, where they had Ezra Miller say like, "Who the who the f are you?" So I was like, okay, they're trying to they didn't want this to be spoiled, but that was crazy, and I kind of wonder, like, because Andy Muschietti is gonna direct, or he's gonna direct Batman: The Brave and the Bold for James Gunn's DCU. I kind of wonder if they would bring George Clooney in there to be Batman, because they kind of need an older Batman for that, because he does have like a Robin. What was his name? I forget his name. It's Damian Wayne. So yeah, but I feel like he'd be kind of the right age. They might do it. And I wouldn't be too opposed to it, but that means that kind of means they might have to bring back Ezra Miller though, or they could just recast and put Dylan O'Brien in there or something like that. So yeah, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that was just a crazy, that was a crazy way to end it. I was laughing hysterically when they showed that. So I don't know, but it was good. I mean, the movie was good. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it as much as me? More than me? Less than me? You can tell me down below. And yeah, until next time, see y'all later.